A couple has been sentenced for criminal mistreatment after the death of their newborn baby.
Fox 12's Anna Katayama has more on what was said in court as both parents pleaded guilty.
So both Taylor and Blair Edwards were sentenced to 1 month in jail and 5 years of probation. Prosecutors say the 37-year-old and 32-year-old failed to provide medical treatment for their son, which led to his death 2 days after he was born. In court today, the state laid out its timeline, connecting the neglect to the followers of Christ Church, whose members abstained from medical treatment for their children because they believe in faith healing.
At 11:10 a.m. that morning, there was a mass text with family members expressing concern at 11:10 a.m. Remember that time, Judge. Not a call to the police, not a call for an ambulance, not a call for medical assistance. 10 minutes later, the baby is having breathing difficulties, and he's described as going dark. He wasn't looking great, they described him. They then showed up and they anointed him with oil and prayers pursuant to their religious beliefs, and hoped that in the hands of God, he would be okay. The state would suggest that in the hands of God, that God has provided us with the intellect and intelligence to produce high-end medical treatment and science. But nonetheless, they put their hopes in olive oil.
Prosecutors claim that the Edwards chose to call relatives and members of the church instead of emergency responders after baby Hayden's lips turned blue and he had stopped eating several hours earlier. Now, the state also cited several cases of other failures to provide medical treatment connected to the church that led to deaths and permanent damage to children. They say the Edwards were aware of those situations.
2011. A young child developed an abnormal mass of blood vessels that grew across her face and engulfed her left eye, causing permanent injury, treatable. 2017, there was the death of a young girl who developed respiratory distress syndrome, who was not taken to the hospital, treatable. So they knew that on June 26 when they were sitting in that room with their fellow members of the church, their family. They knew the risks, and they did nothing.
Now, on the defense side, the Edwards lawyers spoke on the emotional impact of the death of their child, acknowledging their failure to call 911, but saying that it doesn't take away from the personal tragedy that they are experiencing.
Despite everything that's been said, the pain that my client and her husband feel for the loss of their child is as real as anyone else. The fact that 911 was not called doesn't take away that pain.
Now, on top of their 30 days in jail and 5 years of probation, the Edwards must also comply with a number of requirements to ensure that their 4 surviving children receive adequate medical care. That includes maintaining health insurance and attending regular checkups with an accredited pediatrician. In studio, Anna Katayama, Fox 12 Oregon.